Ugh. Well, I'm an absolute dickhead. I just did the whole 20 minutes again without changing the settings from a session I was doing last night back to the driver for Streamlabs. So I've just done 20 minutes and all the audio is only coming through my headphones, so you guys can't even hear anything. So I've got to redo it again now. But it's good because we can really crack on with the hats today. So just set another timer. Low end is done. I did a couple more little adjustments in the sketch cassette and just with an EQ, did a dip at 290. Just it was a bit pongy, that frequency, or I don't know how to describe it, like bit picky, like ding, I don't know, yeah, donkey, not nice. It's kind of like pulling the kick down and in a little bit nicer as well. So there you go. That's fixed. That's done. Okay, so with the hats, even though I've done 20 minutes, I added a ride. So it's one that kind of suits the pattern. I think it's always good to contextualize and find the right sample or the right sound with what you're going for. I don't always necessarily think like a 908, 909 or a 808 or a 707 always fit everything. You've got to kind of find the right ride that suits the rest of the feel of the hats, if that makes sense. So this is the one that I chose. EDM toned ride, but it works. It's got that kind of nice slingy, slinky, stretched feel to it, so that's good. Perfect for now. So what I want to do next is layer this other hat, like the open shaker. I want to layer it with a bit of almost like, yeah, I want a transient layer, and then also I want just to fill it out a little bit more, whether that be with noise or processing. I'm not sure yet, but we've just got to play it and see how we go. I'm going to turn the acid riff off again. Let's see how this goes. That's a very aggressive hat. That could work. Honestly, sometimes just pitching them really helps, especially in this case, it's helping. So change the sense as well, fine transposition. Only want it up probably 12. Nice. It's giving that initial kind of whip sound, which is nice because it's ultimately making it cut through the mix a bit harder, which is good. That's what we want. So that's awesome. Turn that back down. And I'm just going to copy these settings just because it's easier, and I'm lazy and I can't be fucked mucking around with it. So yeah, this has got a bit of stereo information on it too. So what I want to do, whereas this one's probably completely mono. It sounds like it is. Never liked Ableton stereo stuff. Never been a fan of it. Especially when you duplicate something and hard pan it left and hard pan it right. It always feels like it's panning from the center out instead of like really going over to the other ends of the sides. I don't know like how else to describe it like that, but it's just like so annoying. Ableton, please sort your shit out and fix this and do it in Live 12, especially seeing as you're charging such a hefty fee for an upgrade. Bastards. I love you, Ableton, but seriously, sort your shit out. So yeah. That's much better. Oh, shit. I didn't go through. I added a bit of decapitator to the bus as well. So mix 80%, left the high cut, changed the tonality, did a low cut somewhere around here, and then just a little bit of drive. Might even bring that. That three's good. That three's really nice. It's bringing the ride up around the other hats too. So that saturation's really making the world of difference. So it's good. Turn the auto gain off so there's a bit more control. Yeah, no, it's wicked. You can hear the difference big time. A little bit of reverb. Bring the decay down a little bit. How good. So yeah, the other thing we can add is obviously a bit of overdrive. Sometimes erosion's really nice too, depending on how you use it. Real sick. All right. So I copy this through. And I forgot another thing that I did as well. I feel like I'm really just flexing the Sound Toys bundle at the moment, but so be it. I did buy it on special, so sucked in. I added Pan Man to the closed hi-hat. Why I've accidentally duplicated it, I don't know. Oh no, I added another one. That's right. This is another hat. So this is number 2. I'll just call it so I don't confuse myself. But yeah, I added like a transient kind of hat to this one as well. You can hear what it's doing. Giving it a lot more attack, which is nice. Beautiful. Now that you guys know everything that I've done, I've got no more secrets to hide. So there you go. At least that's it's just I bring the offset down. The width down, and it's just, as you can see, it's really just kind of finding random spots in the stereo field. I find that this is a cool creative way. You know, you can use panning of any sort. You can use shaper box as well. Is really good for this. But I just find Pan Man's awesome in terms of giving it more of an analog, like not perfect sound and feel as well. Just gives it a bit more character because it randomizes it a bit more. So yeah, no, awesome. Good shit. All right, moving on. All right, next thing I want to do. bit of reverb on that. Really wash it into the drop a bit more. And I want to get rid of these because they're clashing. So whenever you do stuff like that, make sure you always fade the clips that you cut. Going to add a lot of reverb just to the actual channel. I want to wash it out in the background a lot more. Now, we can focus on this build. I really want to get this build pumping. So I've turned the pad off for now, just so we can hear it a bit more naked. And I will piss off. Bass isn't bad, but I'll get rid of it for now. It can come back in the drop. I'll get rid of it from the build. Can come back in over here, maybe when before, whatever, I'll just do it there for now. There's no right or wrong, just do it with how you feel. All right, I'm gonna grab another MIDI track. Oh yeah, I separated the acid riff from the low end too, because we want to process and treat it a little bit differently. So what I can do though, is copy all this processing onto it, whether it likes it or not. Actually, no, I don't need to. No, I do not need to. I'll leave that sketch cassette on there because that's nice, actually. I'm going to have to redo the processing in terms of filtering, so whatever. Whatever. Now, I want to find bass clef, delay reverb. If I go to bass clef, easy wash, but I actually made one too. I made one myself, which I can put up for download. It's pretty old now. Hat wash. Let's see if I can find it. Ah, there it is. Beautiful. Bass clef, easy wash is obviously awesome as well. But I made one specifically for hats that I really like. So it's just delay, vocoder, filter, and reverb. So let's just play it in context and I'll just show you exactly what it does. There you go. That's all it does. Nothing too fancy, but just gives it a nice transitioning effect. Bring that up like so. That sounds a million times better. What I am going to do is I'm going to map this back to the map to macro 1. Okay, here we go. And now I want to map the map to macro 1, so it's on and off. I'll go 1, so as soon as it kicks in a little bit, the device turns on, and I want to make it start, yeah. and then I want this to start at 19K and work back down this way. There we go. So this should fix that problem now. That's awesome. I'll go 2000. That's mad. Yes, that's what I want. I want it filtering down. But as you can see, we're controlling how far the filter's coming back down. So that's what the maximum value is. The maximum value is when it comes back down to 2K. So with the rack, it's always awesome in Ableton. You can really muck around with how you've got things mapped. And yeah, I really like the fact that it's on 0. We've got 1 there. So when the knob's on 1, at the moment, as you can see, the reason why I love that, see how everything's turned off? And then as soon as I put that value on 1, look at that, everything turns on. So we want the rack off when it's completely on 0, and we only want the values and everything to kick in when it's on 1. And then that way you don't have to worry about it changing the sound and everything else through the rest of the song. Because as I said, that's what the filters do, is even when they're on, the parameters will change the sound a little bit. So we don't want that. So this is just a way of kind of conquering that as well. Yeah. Want to try and give them more sustain sound. So what we can do to do that is actually grab this section here and just kind of do it that way. And then I want to right click, create, yep, bang, bang, duplicate that through, and then that will do us. I'll just copy that all the way through, and that just gives it a bit more. There's still a real clicky sound that I don't like. Where's that coming from? Maybe I just won't fade these. Yeah, maybe I'll just fade the intro and outro a little bit just so we're not getting that harshness, because I'm not a big fan of that. There we go, knocking the transient off it a little bit. That way it's not going to clash with this transient hat and the other transient hats and everything else as well. Look at that, much better. So even if I bring that over to here and then bump that up a little bit, it's just going to sit in the mix a lot nicer. You can hear it's like real clunky over here, and then over here it's just real smooth and kind of sits underlining of the other hats. So I'll make these ones red, and then we'll be able to just hear the difference when I play them through again. So I'll just play it just with the hats in the low end so you can hear the difference. Much better. Much better. If you guys can't hear that, I'm super duper sorry. But yeah, there's a real clunky kind of difference on my end. It's the rides will clash with the other hats, and because there's so much happening on the offbeat, with the open hat, transient hat, and then you've got all these little hats and everything as well, you really want to kind of create these subtle little bits of like pockets of space for everything else to kind of come through and breathe. Otherwise, yeah, it just becomes very daunting very quickly, and everything really stacks up and adds. And you'll find 9 times out of 10, the transient ear kick drum always, obviously, and when you've got heaps of hats clashing like this, they're going to smack the limiter so hard, and it's really going to fuck you up in the mastering stage. So super important to dial all this stuff. But that is time for today. So thank you guys. I really hope you enjoyed, and like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.